We can't go live at one time.
I got 2 minutes late.
Mine's only 1 minute. Oh, now it says 2 minutes late. Womp womp. Hey everybody, how the heck are you? We've missed you. It's been a long 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day because we missed you last week. In case you don't know, welcome to the Technically Speaking live show. Each week, myself and my friend Scott to my right, resident Tiddlywinks expert and fan of Nickelback, get together and talk about the latest happenings in technology and, whatever news kind of amuses us, makes us chuckle.
Look at his photograph.
You're welcome. So we got a great show lined up for you tonight. This is kind of a makeup show for missing the Valentine's show. I mean,
Let's be real, we also needed a day off.
I mean, there's also that too.
Yeah.
So we're talking about a little bit of stuff that may have happened longer than a week ago. So forgive us on that one. We're talking about
There's
Google.
a lot to unpack.
There's a lot to unpack. Google has had a very interesting week. There is rumors of new products coming down the pike. There are issues with microphones that maybe they kind of forgot to disclose, and some happenings over on YouTube with a bunch of advertisers pulling all of their revenue out from YouTube, which is that's never a good thing.
We have a hot take on that one though.
Sure do. Samsung, released a whole bunch of new products. Well, a couple of new products at the very least that are
4 phones.
they're real expensive.
4 phones. One of them is trash.
I actually have no idea which one you're talking about now. I mean, I can make an assumption.
Yeah.
But that makes it very, very expensive trash. Like the world's most expensive paperweight.
Yeah.
Type of deal.
Yeah.
And what else? We'll also be talking about, there's a bunch of other random stuff I'm sure we'll talk about as we go. What do you want to jump into first, Scott?
I kind of wanted to sing, but I stopped just short there.
I don't know why.
Greg off camera, we were talking about it. He's fed up with me. I wouldn't go. I do have an announcement that I told him. He was like, "Are you gonna do this thing?" And I told him yes. And he's like, "I don't actually know if you're serious." So, with that said, the announcement is I'm actually retiring from the live show. I will still put out Sunday content.
This is complete news to me.
I am going to retire from the live show.
Okay. Why?
I'm gonna double down on the content.
Down the back?
I'm gonna double down on content. I've got some new products coming from. I'm messing. I'm not retiring from the live show.
That's why I asked you the question, because I'm like, what? How are you gonna spin this?
Are you ready? I was like, here's how I was gonna spin
Yeah.
it. Are you ready? I was gonna say I'm doubling down on creating content on a phone because I reached out to 2 companies and they're gonna send me lenses. So I was really gonna go. Well, I'm doubling down on that.
I would have lied to God. I'd be like, wait, I know that's happening. Okay.
I should have.
Such a jerk.
I should have, because I was like, oh yeah, I'm ready for this.
Yeah.
This is the best thing about the live show is like it makes you a kind of a great actor because
Great improv at least.
Yeah,
not
you
funny
have to.
improv. We ain't
No.
funny, but
Like if you have to come up with something where you're like moderate, like just factual enough to where somebody's like, oh, he could be like legit serious.
yeah.
That would have been one of them, and I think I could have got him.
When
You would have been hot.
Look, if you'd have tossed in all the stuff about the lenses and stuff, I'd have been like, oh, you are serious. Okay. So for the record, maybe this is something we should have talked about off air first before you spring.
I just couldn't do that to you. You know what? I respect you too much. I put some respect on it.
Put some respect on
Put some respect on it. Let's do all Google stuff first, then Samsung.
Okay. Do you want to talk about whatever announcement you have, or did you not actually?
No,
have
that
an
was just a
announcement?
total lie. That was what I was going to do. The thing about the 2 companies, though, that is true. 2 companies reached out to me. I'm going to put a lot of content together about making content on your mobile device. It'll be centered around the Pixel a lot of the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the products that are out there now, for anyone who's interested in leveraging their existing smartphone, especially if you've got a quality product like a Google Pixel 2 XL or a Google Pixel 3 XL or even an iPhone, there are some amazing lenses that are out there. Scott, you have already covered several of them at this point. So
yes.
This is kind of a niche market that is growing larger and larger with companies that are investing in your smartphone as a platform to do something else other than just make phone calls and waste your time. And photography
Twitter.
and video, yes, exactly. Photography and videography is a brilliant. Now that cameras have really gotten to the level that they're at, like the DxO marks that some of these cameras are scoring, are obscene. I mean,
that reminds me,
ridiculously good cameras.
I will put this on my my Instagram. But these are photos. I'm going to show you. Sorry, guys. I'll put it on my Instagram during the live show because I don't pay attention to the show. I actually blew these up to like 11 by 16.
Those are pictures you took on your phone.
These are pictures I took on my phone because you were there
yes, I
for
was.
a couple of them, I think.
Those are legit pictures. Those are fantastic looking pictures.
Yeah, so
you got them on Instagram?
I'm going to put them on Instagram here in a second. Yeah. So these are really, really large photos that I'm going to put on Instagram to show you that I took these. Now, the one Harry Potter one that you're going to see, I had to edit that one because there were two people in the photo that ruined the whole thing. So I actually edited that to get them out. But what you see is, it's legit. Those were filmed on a phone. Ironically enough, the black and white one that you'll see was in a parking garage.
Oh,
that's a parking garage shot. Yeah. But I really just liked the shot.
I like black and white photography.
Also, I'm going to come back to this. The hashtag gabbing with Greg from Kathleen triggered this. I put a poll up. I'm really hurt.
Who won? Who won? I'm sorry.
Now, hang on a second. I'm really hurt by this. I'm extremely upset by what I'm about to say.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I put a poll up on Twitter like a week ago.
Sure did.
Actually, a week ago because we were not doing a live show. It's basically, who's your favorite? We love you both. You both are trash. Scott's my favorite. Greg's my favorite. So for the record, we're both good. Was last.
I mean,
and then was followed up by Scott's the best, which was third out of fourth. Come on.
Yeah.
The second one is you both are good, and in a runaway.
Yeah.
Everybody likes you the best.
It's not me. It's the beard. It's the beard speaks for itself. It's. Just
I am extremely upset about it. What is this? What is this?
The best part is it's on your Twitter.
I know it's on my Twitter. Part. Why do you guys? What do I do? How do I get fans? I want.
I assume that you pay for them.
Where are all the people who are like, I'm with Peach?
No.
Prince Peach.
It's not a thing. Prince Peach. Oh, come on now.
Kathleen.
Come on now.
I'm hurt.
This easy.
I'm hurt by this. I'm cut to the core. My core is cut.
Yeah, he looks real wounded.
I'm ripped in the core. ripped core. All right, so
Jim, welcome, Jim. So happy to have you here.
I'm hurt.
So first of all, let's take a moment to run through the comments. There are a ton of people out there, which we appreciate you ever so much. Michael Daniels, as always, sir, thank you so much. Very happy to have you as a longtime supporter of the channel. We love you so very much and all the stuff that you're doing over on your channel over there. Preston McNair, Mr. Prestone himself out there. Kathleen Garrity, of course. We love having you here with us. We also have Modern Day Tech and Mr. Jim Lynch out there, as well as the mayor himself.
The mayor.
I'm telling you.
We got a full house tonight.
Got a full house
I love
tonight.
it. I love it. Let's do Google, YouTube, No, let's do that one third.
Okay. I was like, you're gonna go. No, off the deep end first.
I had to be really careful about what my line was because I almost did it to myself. There's some show notes, and I think at this point, Greg and I are trying to get each other to read the show notes verbatim.
Just like Ron Burgundy, which is the reference that you make.
I can't wait until one of us messes up and Ron Burgundy's this. Yeah. But that was the second line. The first line, we shall omit.
Yeah.
Google.
Hit your first one then.
Google, you know I love you. Nest, you know I love you.
Mm-hmm.
That boo-boo where you didn't tell people about the microphone. And you were like, whoops. Sorry. So the cool thing is, let's talk about the good before we talk about the bad. The bad, or the good, if you have a Nest, I believe it's the second and third gen, but you got to quote me on that. I don't have stats today because he's lazy or something.
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't know. I think we fired him. Anyway, there is a... Got you good and cut you deep. Whoa.
Got me good because I'm like, you know what the best part is? He's not going to rewatch this.
No, so he won't. We can just trash on stats all day and he won't even watch it. The point is that there is a microphone that is with your Nest, and the reason that we found that was because Nest tweeted and said, hey, you can just get information about the weather or change your thermostat by just talking at it. Well, problem was, by the way, that's cool. I love that. The problem was no one knew that there was a microphone in it.
Now, to be clear, Nest makes several products. This is specifically the Nest Guard, which is a home security device. So it's not necessarily present in all Nest devices that are out there.
Stuff.
Yeah. But you you being the conspiracy-minded individual that you are, you sit on the side of like Google. You did this intentionally.
No.
Put him on the spot.
I think the microphone's in there.
Put your money where your mouth
I
is.
think the microphone's in there intentionally.
Sure.
That's not illegal.
Look, knowing software, knowing hardware design, you don't accidentally include something. Now, what you may have done is included it and forgot to document it. That's entirely possible.
I have a hard time thinking that you forget to document that.
Look,
it has to go through the FCC, right?
Okay, FCC for broadcasting stuff. So if you're doing something that has to communicate electronically or communicate via airwaves, electromagnetic media, stuff like that, yeah, you got to file with the FCC.
Yeah, but if I can, if I can talk to it and it does a thing,
that's via the internet.
I would feel like you'd have to go through to get that
for the wireless on it, for the wireless card that's on it.
Wouldn't you have found that in the FCC that there was a
microphone
on it?
The microphone does not transmit data.
Right, but once it goes through the FCC, wouldn't you just say like this is the list of stuff? Like, how did the FCC miss that? I guess is my next question. Google didn't, but then why didn't the FCC catch that? Because they get a copy, they get the thing.
Yes, but I don't think that it's a requirement to register the fact that you have a microphone on a device for the FCC. The FCC is really only concerned about communications, wireless communications. So that's why routers have to have an FCC certificate, which is to kind of parlay real 10-second, sidebar conversation. Google also recently filed for a new FCC, change of certificate something or another. Short version is people are thinking that this might mean that there is a new version of Google Wi-Fi that's coming out. I'm very skeptical of that. That is legitimate. So if they're going to create a new device that broadcasts wireless signals, yes, they would have to file with the FCC. Not necessarily for a microphone.
To Kathleen's point, only recently did Nest equal Google.
Completely agree.
There we go.
Completely agree. And I don't hold this over top of Google either.
That's
Google
fair.
just happens to be the name in front of it.
Yes. So in fairness, that is a great catch to say Google just recently became the two equal. So my thing is like, how did this go through so many people and no one's like, whoa, hang on, what's this thing?
Okay, I'm an IT guy. I talk about this all the time. I write software. I actually have a college degree in computer engineering, which is building hardware. So I have dabbled at least in both sides of this. It is easier than you think to implement something and then forget to document it. It happens all the time. There are countless features that are embedded in applications that you use every single day that you don't know about because they are either locked off in some way, shape, or form, or they're just undocumented or something along those lines.
Really?
Hardware is a little bit different. What is interesting to me is the fact that this is just now coming out implies that no one's really done a teardown on
that was going to be my next thing.
Guard.
No one's ever done a teardown?
And that's the thing. That's usually something, especially in the hardware world, especially with IoT devices, people love to do teardowns on some of these devices to see, not only how they're made, but also get a rough approximation of how expensive it is to produce it, so you know what kind of a markup some of these companies are making on some of these devices. A microphone is pretty hard to miss. So
that's what I'm saying is like,
yeah.
Like, how did that go miss for so long?
Yeah, but I guess the difference is I don't necessarily hold it against Google. Like, I don't think that it's malicious. I don't think that if you read some websites, if you read some of the comments that are out there, there's a lot of people who might think that this is kind of indication that Google is trying to spy on you. Like, this is the conspiracy theory. The Google's in bed with the NSA, blah, 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 blah. I don't buy that for a half a heartbeat. I think that's completely bogus.
Let's be real. If that was the case, then you have Apple and Google and Android or Samsung and all of them. They just dial into this bad boy right here and they got you because you carry this thing around way more than you would carry a Nest Guard.
Yeah.
So I ain't buying that for a second.
So Preston brings up a good point. He says that would it have been in the patent filing? And yes, it should have been in the patent filing, I believe. Now, I'm not a patent lawyer, so
we know that.
Right. So, like, I don't know what the requirements are for the patent, but having gone through the patent filings to find interesting information about products that are rumored to be coming out, that kind of stuff is usually, if not listed directly, it's at least implied in the patent filing. So I would think that it would be in there. If it's not, the interesting thing would be, what happens? Like,
Yeah.
does Google get in any type of trouble, or I should say Nest, to Kathleen's point, does Nest get in any kind of trouble for making a device that doesn't have a microphone, or says that it doesn't have a microphone, but it actually does? Like that to me is that's an interesting question. I'm gonna have to look that one.
Well, the
Everyday Dad, dude, you are.
So I have
too good to us.
I
sir.
have two things. I'm going to come back to the Everyday Dad in a second, but the first thing is, if you check out my Twitter, and Kathleen can keep me honest because she has seen it, my Nest Hello, actually, my doorbell, caught the
thunder snow.
The thunder snow, where I got the lightning and the thunder. The thunder, Kachaga! I caught it on camera. So if you look if you look at my Twitter, you will see there's like a 5-second clip where we captured the thunder snow, and it was so dope. I wish people at Nest saw it.
Yeah,
I really do, because it's like that was like such a cool phenomenon. What I wanted to do was get that weather guy that goes, "Woo!" like really loud, and I wanted to like lay him over top of it and just see if I could capture it.
So funny.
That would be a good Photoshop.
I mean, I can't. Not only can I not do it justice, but I also can't repeat it because we'll get demonetized for it. But
it was so cool.
Lewis Black, who's one of my all-time favorite comedians, has a bit where he talks about lightning with snow behind it. Oh, it's on Lewis Black's The White Album, which is one of my all-time favorite comedy albums. It's good stuff. Look it up. You'll laugh.
Yes, it was beautiful. Kathleen,
not for the faint of heart.
Your point.
It was a great looking picture too.
The Everyday Dad, dude, you're amazing.
Man.
I had a chance to meet the Everyday Wife.
Yeah, I heard
last week.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm jealous. She's a super, super nice lady.
She is so sweet.
She cracks me up.
And
on the live stream on the Pillars of Action that the Everyday Dad does.
And to the Everyday Dad's point, because I was messaging him back and forth. Definitely the better half. No offense.
Yeah.
No offense. She's definitely the better half. She is awesome. Hilarious. Jim!
Jim! Good Lord.
Thanks,
Y'all
Jim.
are the greatest.
You guys seriously are the best. This is why we come. See, I can't quit the live show now because of this. If I were playing this joke...
Look, you're only doing it just to keep them around. It's fine. They're making up for the fact that they love me more, and so now...
What is that? No one loves you more. I'm really hurt by this.
Short version, getting back to the thing about the Nest, I don't, it's not malicious. I think it is just a accidental thing. I think what's really interesting, though, is that just the day and age that we live in, where if something like this happened 10 years ago, it would be like, oh, that's weird. And now immediately it's conspiracy. It's Google spying on you. It's the reporting your every move back to the NSA. Like, there's so much conspiracy that surrounds just this one oopsie. And that's really, in my opinion, all it is. Like, I don't see any indication. Like, come on, if it was gonna be malicious, do you think they would have updated features to allow you to interact with it via your voice? That's giving away that there's a microphone in it.
Right. That's literally like you don't go, hey, I'm gonna spy on you. By the way, there's a microphone, Greg. You don't tell them.
Also,
you
guess
just
what?
Do it.
We do that anyway. I have a Google Home Mini sitting right over there. If Google was really going to spy on me, they're already getting everything that we say.
Look, I get it. Anyway.
Hey, Google, can we just get the audio transcript of the live show? Because it would save us like 20 minutes.
Also,
minimum.
If you're listening, Google, go ahead and if I had heard that something might have gone through to the FCC. Did it go to the FCC? If that secret
FCC
secret device, if there was an FCC filing about, I don't know, like some other Wi-Fi device that may or may
Google
not
Wi-Fi
exist. I mean, just throw it to just send it.
Just let us know.
Just let us know.
Give us a holler.
You know, there's a reason why that video is the number 1 or 2 or 3. I mean, if you go search for it, it's there. But
Google Wi-Fi, we're one of the top results.
We really are.
Very proud of that one. Oh, excuse me. After looking at that FCC filing, I don't think that it's Google Wi-Fi 2.
You don't?
I don't.
What do you think it is?
So here's the thing. If you look at the FCC filing itself, it's very, very minimal. What it does tell you is that Google is filing for an FCC registration, whatever, change of registration for a device that it has 2 antennas and it operates on, follow me on this one, 802.11 ABG and an AC. That is a whole bunch of Wi-Fi geek speak for another thing called Wi-Fi 4, which we've got a video out there that kind of breaks down on my Everything Networking playlist. We've got a video where we kind of talk about the common... I know, look it up. Check it out.
I'm not looking it up. I'm Instagramming.
We talk about...
I forgot to send the video or the photo that I talked about.
Such a jerk. We talk about Wi-Fi 4 versus 5 versus 6 and how basically instead of talking about... No, it's fine. We're just trying to do a show here. No. Go ahead.
You told me to put it on Instagram.
So instead of talking about like 802.11a or 802.11g or whatever, the guys that control this whole Wi-Fi thing are basically relabeling it as Wi-Fi 4, 5, and 6. It's a lot easier, much more consumer friendly. So if you go out and buy a router right now, it's probably Wi-Fi 5, and most recent devices are also Wi-Fi 5 compliant. This new device, brand new device that Google just filed the FCC registration for,
Yep, go on.
Wi-Fi 5, not Wi-Fi 6, which is out right now. So it's operating on an old standard, which, by the way, Google Wi-Fi currently is running on. It's still a 2-antenna device, which, by the way, Google Wi-Fi is right now.
Do you think it's the gaming unit?
Now that's interesting.
That only came up like 11th hour type thing.
Yeah, we will talk more about that.
Yeah.
I think it's possible. I think it's possible that it's that, or
you heard that here first.
it is a cheaper, like stripped down, smaller footprint version of Google Wi-Fi. Now I don't know why they would do that.
The gaming
one is interesting.
So like 15 minutes before the show, and we'll just jump to this story real quick. At GDC, what was it? The Gaming
Developers Conference.
Ooh, look at me, I'm not even a gamer. Nailed it.
This guy over here.
It's like March 15th or something like that.
It's almost like he can understand implied
Yeah, I know, right?
implied acronyms.
Algorithms.
Yeah.
Algorithms. At that GDC, there is rumor that Google's going to go all in. That's what they're saying. We're going all in or whatever. And 15 minutes before the show launch, they talked about a device that Google was going to launch, and it was hardware. And it's weird that you're saying all of this stuff, which would be a requirement based on the things that we know about the gaming.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that that's the gaming device.
I would say that it's probably...
Based on like what, the 15 seconds we've looked it up?
Everything seems to stack up to that way. Now,
I'm so good. Tell me why I'm not the best.
So, there's a lot... Oh, Everyday Dad. Man, hang on. We might have to bro out for just a second because he has mentioned that he's not a gamer, but he spent the last couple of days playing Apex Legends, which I'm very interested in. I have a deep, deep, deep love for Battle Royale games. There is nothing that beats the thrill of being hunted, and that sounds so dark, but it makes for some of the best gaming possible. So I totally want to talk to you about that at one point in time. But on the subject of gaming, I had an opportunity a while back to participate, and I promise all this ties together.
I can't
Follow
wait.
me on this one, okay?
I'm just over here Instagramming.
So Google a while back launched a project called Project Stream, and the goal of Project Stream was to basically just test not only users' tolerance for, but also modern hardware, modern internet's tolerance of live streamed gaming. It's not the first time that this has been done, but the short version is there's a data center that lives someplace, out in a cornfield in Iowa or whatever, and they do all of the hard number crunching and graphics and stuff like that, and they basically just ship you the output of that, so like a video stream, if you will, sort of like Netflix, that you would get in your web browser or on your desktop or whatever, and then as you're playing, all of those controller movements and stuff are passed back to that gaming server in real time. Mm-hmm. I had a chance to participate in it. The Project Stream demo basically covered a game called Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is a game that requires... it's a lot of like swords type of combat, fairly precise jumping and puzzle solving and stuff like that. Not a game that you would want to have a lot of latency or anything like that. It worked surprisingly well. I was actually genuinely impressed. I was able to play on basically any device that had a web browser, and there was a little bit of latency. There was a little bit of what we would call compression artifacts. So if you're watching Netflix and you see like the weird pixelation, sometimes your internet speed falls off a cliff and everything gets weirdly pixelated and stuff, you would see some of that. But by and large, it was totally playable. Shockingly playable for this being a brand new game. basically delivered to you in the exact same way that Netflix would deliver a movie to you. Now, Google has also really recently talked about like this GDC thing. They want to get into gaming as a service, sort of like Netflix, and so
I'm doubling down on it. I'm telling you.
and so they announced this hardware thing. So I think this is that hardware piece plus their announcement of wanting to do like the Netflix of gaming type of deal. This is Google's opening shots in the next generation of the console wars. So Google is aiming to be a competitor against the Sonys and the Microsofts of the world. Now, it's a slightly different competition because Microsoft and Sony are still going to produce like physical consoles
hardware,
that are much, much beefier. But even Sony has come out and straight up said, and I believe even Microsoft has talked about this too, they're at least a version of their next console will be streaming only. It won't support physical discs. It won't have a hard drive necessarily. Well, it'll have some type of a hard drive.
I was gonna say it would have to.
But it'll be a streaming type of device. So Google's basically doing the end around. Instead of getting involved in trying to compete at hardware, which is Sega did the same thing, they fell out of the console wars. Microsoft got a whole bunch of crap for trying to compete in the console wars way back in the day, and they've managed to survive. Second place behind Sony, of course, but I think even third place. I think Nintendo might be bigger than Nintendo.
Man, I do love my Switch though.
My kids don't touch it.
Are you serious?
Do not touch it.
Oh my god, I play the Switch all the time.
I play Smash Brothers. That's all I play.
I can't get into Smash Brothers.
I love Smash Brothers.
Do you really?
Oh,
give me Odyssey or regular Mario.
Yeah,
all day long.
Oh yeah, because you got the new Mario. Right?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I beat it already.
Did you really?
Now I'm going back and getting all the extra stuff. Oh, yeah, just like pound through it.
Oh man,
this is what I do.
That's hilarious.
But so like I'll just pound through it for like straight like a week.
Yeah.
And then I'll put it down for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm definitely in the down off of the Switch thing because I've been interested in Apex Legends, Everyday Dad, as he mentioned. This is a kind of the latest and greatest battle royale type of game. It's like you versus 100. It's not that many in Apex. I think it's like 60 or something like that in Apex Legends. But it's you land on the ground, you start with nothing, and people are hunting you, and then you have to survive.
I'm so bad at those games.
Oh, I'm awful at them.
Oh my god, I'm so bad.
They're so good. They're so much fun.
I'm the worst. The worst.
The idea of having to like
I have nothing but thumbs.
It's the combat senses, man. It triggers me. It gets me going. It gets me going again. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. So that's boy, we basically hit all of the Google news, bang, 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 right?
Except for the YouTube ad issues. So I have a hot take with this YouTube ad apocalypse thing.
Yeah, do your thing.
So essentially, there is an article out there. If you were to go into Google and type in like YouTube ads pulled, that would be just something you could go and search. You'll find what's going on. Disney, Hasbro, Nestle. What's some other ones? Disney, Hasbro, AT&T now. So essentially, here's what's happening. They're pulling ads, like adpocalypse all over again, right? But I think the common misconception is people keep referring to it as content. The content's being, like, there's content that's violating things with these companies that want to get out of the game of getting money in their ads. That is a little misleading. It's actually not content, the videos. It is not the videos that's the problem. It's the comments on the videos. That's the problem.
Yep.
It's not like somebody getting on camera like we are right now and doing things that no company would want to have an ad in front of. That's not the problem. The problem is some of the videos involve how do we...
Here's the thing. I have a family. There are times when I might want to take video of my family, like my kids playing around in the backyard or something along those lines. The problem that you run into is that there are people now showing up to videos involving children and leaving comments
that are very sideways.
That make me want to reach through the internet and choke the living life out of them.
Yeah.
And that's about as much as I can say without saying a whole bunch of swear words because...
Yeah, no, it's off limits. There's no place for it. It is uncalled for, and it should... I don't understand why people feel like they have to do that. But the problem is the comments are the real bad place in the content. The content's fine.
Yeah.
The comments are toxic. So these comments are showing up, and they're in front of ads.
Yeah.
And I think you said it best in the beginning. Personally, it's a weak move.
It's a non-issue.
Your moves are weak. The issue is it's the companies making a power play to try to control things, and I think it's a weak move. I think it's a total bad move. I don't think Google's in the wrong at all. I don't think YouTube's in the wrong. Look, and we'll go in on that all day long. I don't think they've done anything wrong.
No, I don't think that they've done anything wrong. And furthermore, I think that kind of expanding on the idea that this is a power move, you got to think that advertisers, like, there's an existing business model with cable where advertisers have a heck of a lot of power. And one of the most interesting things that YouTube has done, the democratization of video content production, is, I'm less beholden on having limited amounts of airtime that cable has. I can just make whatever content I want to, blah, 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 blah. And so advertisers rightfully want to get a part of that. I mean, that is part of the ecosystem that allows us to make a little bit of money on the side with doing YouTube stuff. But I think this really falls under the guise of them making a power play to really try and rake YouTube/Google over the coals for as much control over the platform as humanly possible. Because at the end of the day, all these people have to do is disable the comments on their videos, and then people can't leave comments. There's an argument to be made for should they have to. I get that, but I think the central question, which is, I would love to get some feedback from the comment section. I think the central question here is, should YouTube be responsible for policing every comment that's out there?
Every comment? I don't even know how you could do that.
And that's kind of my point. It seems like a very untenable thing. So, not that I'm saying because you don't have any recourse, you should just give up. But I just feel like there should be other controls in place. And matter of fact, there are. As content creators,
I can tell you that there's comments that are
that we ban.
Like, there are comments that we can ban, and there are more often than not.
Yeah,
we're far too lazy to do that. To be honest, like, I don't think I've ever banned a comment.
I've deleted several.
Have you really?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Really?
But here's the thing.
I never do.
Here's the thing. In my opinion, like, if you're gonna come into the comment section and just crap on either one of us, understand that we're gonna fight back. Like, I don't just roll over. First of all,
we definitely do that.
Second of all, you have to go exceptionally over the line. Like, if it's just completely uncalled for and not something that I would want a new visitor to our channel to see in terms of dialogue, then yeah, I'm gonna ban the comment. But in the whole time that we've operated, I don't even think it's 5 comments.
Okay.
Ever.
I was gonna say, like, no. There are people who will come and make
and obvious spam. Those are the two that I.
Well, so the obvious spam, Google does that. Like, there are times where I'll go into this is spam.
But there's some that are, okay. There's some that are spam, but it would pass Google's filter, YouTube's filter, because it's not like, hot chicks 20 miles from you, click on this link and hook up or what. It's not that type of, like, painfully obvious spam. It's somebody else who's like, hey man, love your stuff. Anyway, hey, come here and click on my stuff and you should totally subscribe because I'm super cool. You get that kind of stuff. It's that sub for sub mentality.
Yeah, we don't do that.
No, I don't. First of all, I don't play that game. And second of all, that's the kind of stuff where it's like, look, I appreciate the comment, but I'll probably hide that. I may not remove it, and I'm not going to report it as spam because, I mean, the guy's not doing anything wrong, but it's just kind of a douche move.
Yeah, it's just a bad look. So yeah, I guess I never thought of it like in terms of what Preston just said in the comment section. I don't think people ever thought the comment section would be weaponized.
So, and again, this is what I think is the most fascinating thing about the time that we live in, is we're seeing all these interesting ways in which bits of technology are being used in ways that we never thought they would be used before. Like the idea, like you might have thought about something like Facebook or YouTube or Google being propagandized for one side or the other, but now you're seeing Facebook as a weapon. You're seeing the comment section weaponized, to Preston's point. It's super fascinating. Sucks. It's not very much fun to be on the receiving end of this. It's not really fun to see the impact that this has on society, but it's super interesting. It's a really interesting kind of science project in a way.
It's a really interesting sociological...
Yeah, sociology
project. It's a sociological project, really, just to show you that there are just groups of people like this that do things like this in the comment section that you would never thought, because the majority of people So the majority of people don't think that way. That's the first bit. So like that's just the way that it goes. And then the second thing is the phenomenon of the internet that everybody has a voice. A lot of times you never heard comments like this because there was just no place to put the comment. But now there's places to put the comment.
Yeah.
And so you have the ability to do that. Yeah. So our comment section isn't too bad, and I agree that it is a reflection of the community that you keep. I will challenge on that, not because we don't like you, because we love you. I will challenge because the community that we have, this is what we would deem as our community. The core people that really watch our stuff is typically here. There are some folks that are out there, so you have like your inner circle, and then it kind of grows out. But one of the videos on my channel, I get that thing has just gone bananas. The Bose AirPod video has gone bananas, and I bet you that the majority of the people, actually, I can do the numbers. I bet you the majority of people are not subscribers.
So yeah, if you look at our statistics, I think it's well into like 97, 98% of viewers of all of our content, period, are not subscribers.
Which it probably explains a lot why we're just kind of floundering, but whatever.
Whatever. But the comments thing gets me though, because so Larry brings up, is a band at a concert responsible for the comments made by the audience? And it's that kind of mentality, like should content creators be responsible for the comments? I agree. I don't think that they should. But it does beg the interesting question of like, how do you start to divide that up? If YouTube has the ability to monitor that stuff, because make no mistake, via machine learning or what have you, or the fact that all of that data lives on YouTube servers, Google has access to they would have the ability to help, monitor and remove those comments. Does that not mean that they have some responsibility to do that?
I think Google's AI does a pretty decent job of the most obvious stuff.
Yeah.
But the problem that you always are going to have, because this is that sociological experiment.
It's intent.
Well, it's not only that, but people right now are smarter than the AI. They're a step ahead of it. The AI will recognize a pattern for something that somebody does, and they'll change the pattern. And it takes time in between that. Yeah. They're always a step ahead. Yeah. That's part of the issue that you're running into.
Yeah. Well, and I think the other interesting thing about that is fundamentally, like the way that machine learning works right now based on large data sets, that's a problem that is really not easily fixable, because it would take a long time for that new pattern to kind of bubble up through the data set to say that this is new behavior that you need to watch for.
And by the time
they've already moved on to the next one. So yeah, I think it's crappy that advertisers are... So I get why advertisers might be looking at something like YouTube and saying, hey, I'm guessing, like Disney, for example, says, I'm pulling my ads from YouTube. And Disney being, all things to all children, I can understand why they might want to distance themselves from that. But at the same time, it rings a little hollow to me, or it tells me that they don't understand the platform, the technology at all.
Yeah, let me go ahead and give you the lowdown on Disney. And Disney, I know your dark secret.
So, P.S. we know you're watching.
Yeah, because we know that. Yeah, what is it? What's his name? Rich? Is it? What's the guy? The Disney CEO.
Oh,
Iger.
Yeah, Bob Iger.
Bob Iger. I almost called him Rich. Robert. Robert, I know you're watching.
Yeah.
I know what those characters do. I know those dirty secrets. I've seen those videos.
I've heard
the stories
Disney parties
that your Disney characters do. I know what Belle and the Beast doesn't tell Gaston.
Yeah.
Don't.
Straight off a cliff. We just went straight off a cliff. Yeah.
Don't do it, Belle. I know Gaston.
Yeah. You're out of control.
I am out of control.
So there's a kind of a tangential to this.
Really? Which part?
To the not the Gaston and the Bell thing. I'm talking about YouTube and people looking at YouTube to be responsible for YouTube comments. There's go out to YouTube and just look up Flat Earth, and you'll find tons of videos out there. There's some well-known people who are way into the Flat Earth conspiracy, and
Kyrie Irving. Went to
B.O.B.
Duke. Went to Duke says the Earth is flat.
I have fallen down an absolute rabbit hole on a couple of nights looking at people that are attempting to have logical debates with LOL logical debates with flat earthers, trying to say like hey, I want you to feel like you can represent your point, and I want to have a discussion about this, and hopefully I can convince you that you're wrong. And just the way the conversations go, it just spirals so far into left field so quickly. It's incredible. So there's a lot of calls for YouTube to help guide the dialogue, if you will, when it comes to conspiracy theories. Like, for example, the Earth is flat, we never went to the moon, or more pressing, vaccines cause autism. So there is an argument to be made to have a platform like YouTube start to maybe not censor, but at least what's the opposite of suggest? Unsuggest, desuggest, maybe de-emphasize?
Well, you would be like, you wouldn't be in recommendations. You would drop in recommendations. They would just kind of.
Yeah. So there's an argument to be made for that, and matter of fact,
I don't know about that.
The latest I've heard is that some of those videos are starting to become less recommended as a part of YouTube attempting to kind of police its own platform.
But what about the people who want to have like they'll use the words, but they want to be like, yeah, I don't really understand. Like if we say flat Earth, and we're like, yeah, we totally don't get it, but we say flat Earth enough, does our content drop?
See, I don't think that it's a matter of YouTube processing.
But you know what I mean? Like,
I hear what you're saying. I could see it based solely on like the title of the video or the tags that are in the video or something like that. Or if we happen to, like, if we are, YouTube knows what type of content you like. So even us as a channel, it knows the type of content that we produce, and I'm sure that it has some type of a score for how likely we are to produce like conspiracy theory related content. And if that score is high enough, it might start to rank you lower. Like, that's typically the way a lot of these things work.
Interesting that you bring this up. This is related.
Yeah.
Boogie 992.
Yeah.
Okay.
2988.
2988. Yeah. So Boogie actually specifically says, if you go out and follow his Twitter, he says he has engaged a YouTube employee that specifically says if he does Francis videos, it will take his whole channel down. So the rank that you just described.
Whoa.
He says, they verbatim, I will read you his tweets while you take it for just a second.
That is wild. So that does imply they're doing audio processing on the videos.
So,
because, I mean, and does he label those videos as a Francis video?
I believe he does.
Okay, that might be a different story then. Sorry.
Once again.
I still got a scratchy throat. I'm trying to get over a cold. Yet another good reason why we didn't do the Valentine's Day show. But
yeah, you were sick, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I was really not feeling so good. I sounded like real bad, like real awful. Anyway, so is there a need, or would anybody else out there feel comfortable with YouTube stepping in and kind of policing some of this content that is, I don't know, I feel like I'm showing my cards here, but I feel like it's verifiably bullcrap. All of the autism stuff, autism's linked to vaccines, and I hope I'm not offending anybody out there. If I am, I mean, I apologize. It's not about you. It's about, like, I don't think that that's an accurate thing. We did go to the moon. The Earth is round, and I don't feel like those things necessarily should be on the platform. But at the same time, what if I want to make content about it?
Right, and that's
not in support of it, but
this basically talks about Boogie had made a point to say, good morning, how did that apocalypse 3.0 come along? Are all the kids safe now? That type of thing. So
yeah.
He was just kind of off the cuff saying it. He said he's adapted my business to survive, drop my AdSense to 0 and I'll still be good to go, yada, yada, yada. He says, sorry, man, somebody says that's a lie, Boogie, tell the truth. He says, 90% of my income comes from somewhere else other than AdSense. It literally won't affect me at all. Yeah. This has allowed me to keep making Francis sketches for the last year for 0 pay on those videos. Only reason I quit was because this is a direct quote, a YouTube rep showed me it was permanently hurting the channel. Permanently, he says, we talk through it. The consensus is, if the algorithm buries Francis on my channel and also buries my channel in the algorithm, imagine what it would do to a new channel.
Agreed.
That's a very That's
So-
the only reason I quit was
so
because a
interesting.
YouTube rep showed me it was permanently hurting my channel.
So that makes me wonder, like, if you look back at our analytics, and I don't want to get into, like, the specifics of our channel, but if you look back at some of our analytics, there was a point in time where, I mean, there was hockey stick level growth on our channel.
We've had like
we were like,
I don't
all
know
at once.
Yeah, I don't know if we're special. I truly don't. Like,
I mean,
there's a
law of
ton-
statistics. I think we're not, but
There's a ton of content creators
Yeah.
on this platform, which is great.
especially in the tech space. Let's be real.
But when we started, it'll almost be 2 years ago,
Yeah.
where the two of us teamed up to make content, we had growth that it went from like this to this, and then it stagnated,
and then fell off a cliff.
and then it fell off a cliff, and then now it's kind of like humming along.
Yeah, steady
And
growth. I mean, we're cool with that.
Yeah, it's steady growth, and I'm not saying one way or another. I want to know how we got that first. I want to know how do we do this,
Yeah.
and then I want to stop this.
Well, I want to know what happened. I want to know what happened that caused this to radically level off and then radically fall off a cliff. Because if we did something like putting ourselves in that Boogie 2988 scenario where he makes some type of content that makes his channel fall down in the suggestions, that implies that we may have done something along those lines.
Well, this was when
We
were
just
like-
don't know what it is, though.
Well, this is where we were trying to do the whole play around with, well, we'll stop the live show. We have heard that the live show hurts, but this is what we like to do because it's fun.
Yeah.
Well, then now we're stuck. Like, was it the live show? Was it not? Oh, the hell with it. We're just going to do
It turns out we don't care.
it turns out we don't care. Greg and I talk about this frequently. I have a feeling
Literally every day.
literally every day. I think it's just the sheer vast amount of content.
Yeah.
That's what I think
It's
it
just
is.
impossible to find this.
It's just you gotta put out more. That's literally what I think.
All right. I've beat YouTube to death. I'm done with it. You got anything else
Oh no, I guess I'm done.
with YouTube? Will you get more to say?
No, it's
about
okay.
it?
No, I'm done.
Okay.
You said we're done.
Stop.
You said we're done. I'm done.
I was gonna move
You said
on.
we're done.
I was gonna move on to Samsung.
We have made. So I'm almost. Okay, I have. Okay.
You already go.
No. Okay.
Go ahead.
I have a bone to pick with this.
Yeah.
And this is going to be me complaining about YouTubers and things like this. And I think I think I don't want to talk about Samsung at all. I do not want to talk about Samsung.
Why?
Any of the new stuff that came out, I won't talk about it.
Okay.
Because I went through my feed yesterday. Everybody subscribes to all the big YouTubers. This is what I do, right? I subscribe to all the big YouTubers.
Okay.
All of them.
Literally all of them. Every big YouTuber out there. that
On
man
my
subscribes to
subscription
them.
list.
This
All
guy
of
over
them.
here.
Every one of them. All the things.
If you want to know who the big YouTubers are,
You look at my feed.
go look at his feed.
The problem that I had with that yesterday was very clearly Samsung release day. Every single YouTuber
Yeah.
had a video about
Yeah.
Samsung and the S10. Everyone.
I'm really
had,
interested to see where you go with this because I also have something about that. Go.
I'm so annoyed by that.
Yeah.
I am hyper annoyed by it. So quite honestly, there is nothing that we can say that you can't go find in any of what they released yesterday. You want to know the specs? Pick your YouTuber. You want to know what they think? Pick your YouTuber. I don't bring a unique anything to any of that. And here's the reason why. I'm not buying the S10. I don't care to buy the S10. I'm not going to buy the S10 Plus. I don't want to buy a Samsung product. And I'm damn sure not going to buy that Samsung Galaxy Fold.
That cost $2,000.
And that's
Dumb.
and so
It looks neat.
the once it's unfolded, it looks neat. The folded part looks like a ham sandwich.
Looks like trash. It has
Ham.
The people that gave the Pixel phone crap for having big chins, y'all better come out of the woodwork to talk
Nothing.
about the Galaxy Fold. That thing has chins that are
Has
measured
more chins
in
than I do,
inches.
and I got a lot of chins.
Multiple inches. The biggest chins I've ever seen on a device. It's like a little bit of screen and then like
A bunch of
I got chins! Ah!
Yep.
Lots.
And then you have to press the screen 3 times to get Google Maps to open. Strong pass. I'm good.
No.
I'll go with my definite workhorse of Pixel
Yeah.
3 XL that takes bomb photos if you look at my Instagram. So yeah, you know what? I don't want to talk about the S10 because I'm not going to offer any unique You know what? I got a hot take. I still think
made
Samsung
it
phones
up.
are trash. I can't even
They're,
say.
well, I mean, they're pretty phones.
They're pretty.
They're really pretty.
I can't say they're trash.
I hate
can't
their
say it.
OS. I hate Tizen.
I can't say they're. I
Or
can't say
no,
they're trash.
TouchWiz.
That would be a lie.
I hate TouchWiz.
Samsung's not for me.
No, I agree. I mean,
So you know
it's
what?
not for everyone.
That stuck in my craw. I was pretty salty about that because
Yeah.
it was like I didn't want to watch a Samsung video, so I'm scrolling. My God, how many of you got this phone?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So that is, in a nutshell, why it's so difficult to be a tech YouTuber, is because there are so many people who have interests, even kind of passing interests in technology, that it makes it difficult to be like people that are in technology to even have a conversation about this. On top of, to your point about yesterday being all about Samsung. Scott, do you know who Linus Tech Tips is?
Yep.
You do. What, in a nutshell, what is their channel about?
Tech.
Specifics? Computers?
Oh yeah, I mean, okay, so specifics.
Yeah.
It's like more hardcore nerdery.
Like
building computers,
yes.
like really specific, like
Servers,
components.
gaming,
Yep.
yes. So they put out a video, I think it was last year, where they talked about how they showed the graphs from YouTube that shows how the algorithm was favoring trending topics, and that means when it comes to hardware release time, if you're not talking about that thing that everyone else is talking about, your channel, your search ranking falls through the floor, man.
Oh, that's true?
Yes.
I did not know that.
They could show the dip, boop, straight down. They got killed on that, at least for that day, and it took them a couple of days to kind of bounce back from that. And you're talking about
their channel.
Their channel.
Like Linus Tech Tips
Yes.
that has multiple millions.
Yes.
Their channel went this way?
Yes.
Awesome.
Off the cliff.
Love our odds. Love our odds.
So that makes it incredibly, incredibly challenging for it. It's the double-edged sword of we are punished if we don't talk about it, but what's our unique take going to be on it? I mean, I can tell you what I think about it, but now it's just my opinion. But like every video that we would put out, we're going to talk about things like the specs. We're going to talk about things like the price. That's not a fundamentally unique take. You're going to tune in and watch us just because we have some type of rapport. You like the way that we think about technology. You like the words that come out our mouth.
Sure got a pretty mouth.
But that's not really going to attract new viewers on that. So that's a really, really tough. Boy, that's a tough nut to crack. So.
Well, and so like this is where I got to give folks like the Everyday Dad a lot of credit.
Yeah.
Like you're killing
Find
the
your
game,
niche, man.
Find your niche. You're killing the game. You are the person I go to looking in that specific niche. And so
yeah.
I guess we just have to learn to be okay with the niche.
What's funny
we
is
don't have one.
We do. We have our niches.
Well, you do.
Okay, you do too.
I don't know about that. I guess you could say I do.
So
headphones.
Exactly. Headphones. When it comes to like the mobile photography stuff, you have several videos that are out there, some of which do good.
Yeah, some are.
Yeah, some
Let
maybe
me,
not so
let me
much.
tell you what's not doing well. Wireless microphones. Not burning a hole in anyone's pocket on that
Who
one.
knew that not that many people
really
are
gave
buying
a darn
wireless
about
microphones?
that?
All my videos about wireless networking tend to do pretty well, which I get. I mean, wireless networking is an incredibly complex topic.
Yep.
So
And you do a great job of explaining it for like people,
Thank you.
because I'm dumb and I get it.
yeah, that means a lot to me.
No, seriously,
I
and I'm
try really
done.
hard. It's a tough topic to talk about because you get the two types of commenters that come out of the woodwork. You have somebody who basically didn't watch your video and asks a very basic question that you answered within the first 38 seconds of the video. Or you have somebody who's like a 20-year network engineering veteran who's like, well, technically, that's not how this thing works. And it's like, bro, you're watching a video on a consumer review of a consumer router and you're trying to talk to me about how high-end networking works. Wrong audience, man. I ain't talking to you.
How about the fact that I can't even say this without a straight face. You know exactly which comment.
About my wife?
Yes.
And, like,
oh my
1920.
God.
I made a comment one time in one of my videos about how I was so happy that Google Wi-Fi enables, like, it lets me kind of like delegate or allow my wife to log in, like literally from a permissions perspective, not as if I'm like a 1920s guy that's like, the wife belongs in the kitchen. That's going to be a saved soundbite, I'm sure.
Yep, sure it is. Larry,
It's gonna be about
Larry,
ringtone
I
for
need,
him.
I need that, Larry. I need that.
So I commented about how, like, one of the best things about a product like Google Wi-Fi is that my wife was comfortable with logging into it and doing things that are technically complex in a simple way. For example, reboot the router. I'm not going to come downstairs and say, hey, you push these buttons or type in these commands. If I've got like a command line router or something along those lines, she can do it from the app. It's like, boop, boop, done. Router's rebooting. The internet came back up. She's happy.
Yep.
That's what I cared about. And I got somebody showed up in the comments and just tried to light me on fire about
How dare you say that you let your wife do things?
and they hope that I die in the 1950s or something. I mean, yeah.
Way to mess, like...
I leave those comments. Look, if you're going to post them out there, I'm going to let you look like a dumbass. I'm going to let you do it.
Yeah. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. We have 3 minutes. You have anything else?
3 minutes. Opportunity. I'm really sad about this one. Humanity collectively said goodbye to the Opportunity rover on Mars. I am a huge science nerd, so like the idea of exploring other planets is intensely interesting to me. The fact that humanity built a rover, sent it to another planet that was designed for 90 days and it lasted for 15 years is beyond outstanding. It's like it's a testament to everything that I love about human beings, and I think it's awesome. And I'm really, really sad that that mission is now over. So
if you put a problem in front of a human, they will figure out how to fix it.
yeah,
I really like humans are fascinating.
yeah,
and frustrating.
yeah. I mean,
All in the same sense.
think about the ends of the conversations we've had just on this live show alone. We've talked about crappy human beings showing up to videos about kids being kids and making awful comments, to sending a hunk of metal hurtling across the solar system to another planet, landing there, driving around, doing science, creating
For 15
new
years.
knowledge for 15 years, wirelessly beaming that back to our planet and then interpreting that information for 15 years.
Fascinating.
It's super fascinating, man. People are weird.
People are crazy, man.
What else you got, man? You got anything else?
I don't know if I'm going to have a video this week. I'm
Yeah.
50-50 on that. But then I have some pretty awesome content coming out.
Yeah, you do.
I have a couple things in the works. You have a thing in the works that we're on a conference call tomorrow about.
So, not only that, I wasn't sure which thing in the works you were talking about.
No. I'm not talking about that one. That is definitely in the works, though.
You might not see me front and center on the channel for a little while yet. At some point in time, literally within the next, I don't know, day or 2 days, I'm going to be welcoming the 4th child into my family. Holy crap. Yeah, so that's happening literally any time now. So
It sure is.
I will be taking a little bit of time to kind of help readjust the family to that. So you won't see me for a little while. That's kind of why I've been
That's why I
offline
haven't
for a
been
while.
inundating you with my content.
Exactly.
And I am really looking forward to passing that torch back to you. Here you go, friend.
Yeah. So yeah, other than that, we've got some interesting, we're talking to a bunch of companies right now. Hopefully we'll have some more interesting content related to some networking stuff.
Yep.
We will have some
Mobile
stuff coming down the pipe.
stuff coming down the pipe. Mobile photography, mobile videography. I am all in on that now.
You are.
I am.
You're doubling down, man.
I am doubling down. Yeah. I'm really, really bummed. One of my most favorite video recording apps, Filmic Pro, on the Pixel 3 is a known issue, and I cannot use the app to record video.
Yeah.
It has just trash audio and trash quality. So now I have moved on into the Moment app. So I can
That's impressive to me, because that's not, that app initially you were not a fan of.
Oh no, that app is actually quite good. Wait. The mayor did not know that you're having another one. How did you
Mr.
not?
Mayor.
The mayor knows all.
I apologize for not letting you know, Mr. Mayor. I do apologize. I should have sent that in the town meeting notes or something. I don't know.
We'll put it in the newsletter.
Yeah.
I'll put it on the bulletin board in the grocery store.
That's
What's
funny.
the old school grocery store? It's the general store.
The general store.
I'll put it in the general store.
Good Lord.
All right. Hit them with the
Anything
socials.
All right, that's going to do it for us for this week. Thank you so much for stopping by. You can find me, as always, on Twitter and Twitter only because every other platform sucks. I am
Lies.
at Ominous Hominid on Twitter. You can find this guy on some other stuff. Nobody cares.
Wow. At Scott Peachy. Fuzzy Fruit with an EY on the end for Twitter. At the Scott Peachy. At the Instagram.
You good? You good? All right, thank you so much for stopping by. Yeah, come back
Will we
next
see
week.
you next week?
I mean,
I will be here next week.
It definitely depends on what happens with number 4. I have a feeling that this will be a thing that resolves itself before the end of the weekend. So by Thursday, I would imagine we can probably set something up. And we'll figure it out from there. I don't know.
I'll say this. I will run the live show solo.
From my basement.
From your basement. No, I'm not kidding. I will, too. You know I will.
I know you will, but if you're going to be here, you know I'm going to join the show.
No, you have your hands full.
Just bring the kid on.
Nah, you can't do that.
I can't. Well, whatever. We'll see.
We'll see what in the bassinet.
Yeah, just bring the bassinet here.
Yeah.
The baby's out.
So
just
the baby
see
right
me, like,
here.
rocking the baby with my foot or
Right
something.
there.
No.
All right, y'all.
All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.